Are you tired of sitting on the sidelines watching opportunities pass you by? You know you have what it takes, but something's missing. It could be doubt, confidence, or fear that you're not representing your best self. Whatever it is, it stops now. It's time to align your passion with your purpose and seize the opportunities that await you. I want to see you get back in the game. So join me and my expert guests as we talk all things image, branding, and a bit of entrepreneurship. So if you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you amplify your presence and define your impact for greater success, sit with us as we talk about it. Good evening, and welcome back to the Image Connection Show, where we go beneath the surface of image, branding, and presence to help you live and lead with impact. I'm your host, Jenny Dewberry, certified international image consultant, personal brand strategist, and consultant, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. The Image Connection Show is a conversation-driven show that goes beneath the surface, as I mentioned, to explore how our inner alignment influences our outer image, our visibility, and our leadership presence, and helps us to open up doors of opportunity. And today I have with me Jennifer Ponder. Jennifer has a long resume here, but she is an AI consultant. She's a speaker. She's the founder of CEO of Nexora Strategy Consulting, and she helps small to mid-sized businesses to automate their process with AI and implement AI agentic systems into their businesses. She's a sought-after professional speaker, and she has taken the stage at Google Developer Groups, the BFUTR Global Tech Conference in Toronto, Women Tech Maker events, and more. She is equally passionate about helping others through her service on technology boards and developing community education and initiatives leading AI, quantum computing, and computer science programs. She's also, and I can't wait to learn about this, a Guinness World record holder. But she has a very impressive background. So I'm going to let her tell you a bit more about who she is, what she does, and who she serves. So help me welcome Jennifer Ponder to the show. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Jenny. So excited to be here with you today and share some insightful information with your audience.
Good. I am glad to have you here too. Been thinking about our conversation because it's really important, especially from the standpoint of AI and how it's exploding. I mean, it's everything now. Everything you hear, people are talking about AI. Some of us are embracing it. Others, we're shying away, and then it seems that some business professionals kind of make you feel guilty about using AI. So I know that you're here to talk to us about how it can enhance our business and our personal and professional lives and businesses. And I know that's going to be a good conversation. But I do, before we get into that, I want to talk about you. And I know you said you're a scuba diver too.
Yes.
Hey,
I love it.
Yeah, and talk about this Guinness World Record holding thing that you had.
Definitely, yeah. So thank you again for being here. With the Guinness World Record, I competed against different developers to build a coding script in a certain amount of time, right? So it was about 500 developers and myself. And I put together the custom script in a certain amount of time. I think it was less than 5 minutes that I beat the time for it. And so, now, of course, I'm just going to take you back for a little bit. Early on in my career, I was a software engineer turned cloud engineer, which has definitely helped me as an AI consultant. But I love cloud engineering so much, and I was a part of a big group, a cloud tech group of women supporters, and they were like, well, you should go for this. We're going to try to go for this world record in some different areas. And I said, well, let me try to find one that I can go up to, because, there's so many things out here, such as imposter syndrome. We feel like we can't do it, that we're not we don't have what it takes to do something like that. And I said, you know what, let me challenge myself, because everything that I put my mind to, I can definitely do it. And certainly that is why I decided to go ahead and become an AI consultant. I build digital employee architecture systems for busy small business and solopreneurs to help them to run their businesses 24/7 without them having to be stressed, overwhelmed with burnout, and give them an additional 20 hours back into their week, and which saves them $50,000 to $70,000. And so, with all doing that, that software engineering background and that cloud engineering really fed into the AI piece. So, I was so excited about that Guinness World Record. And, it's just been something all the time where I have tried to really just inspire myself and really try to empower myself to keep going forward and reaching those goals.
Yeah, and that's impressive. Not just the world record, but your accolades. Everything that you do, it takes strength for one, and it takes confidence. You have to be confident rather to know that though approaching these type of areas of expertise can be scary, I'm sure, a bit overwhelming. You went on and did it, and I just love that. I love that you didn't let anything stop you. The doubt, the imposter syndrome that always appear when we're doing something unknown or something that we feel like in that moment we're not worthy of doing or that we're not capable of doing. So I love that you were able to, crush that lack of confidence in those areas and get this done. So I think that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So you kind of touched on how you moved from, or actually how you got into AI, what that journey looked like. So can you expound on that a little bit more? So you were in corporate?
Yes, definitely. I was in corporate. I started out, like I said, as a software engineer. Early on, though, I was working for, startups, and also this is going to kind of spawn into my create your own pathway to leadership. So something that I did other than gaining traditional computer science education, I wanted to create something for women who didn't have that, whether you were a pivoter or someone who has pivoted totally from a different background, or you were architecting your own way through tech. I definitely was a person who started out in startups, in the corporate environment. But one of the things, I didn't always wait for internships, fellowships, or apprenticeships. I went out and I reached out to clients. I reached out to companies and created my own apprenticeships and internships, definitely, and created those allyships. But definitely, I started out in the corporate space, also working with some startups as well. And so I had that structured developer sense where we were working on code, feature, deploying applications, and went from waterfall, traditional software development lifecycle, to the agile sprint work week and workload. And so, coming on down to, I knew that AI was coming. AI is not something new. AI goes back as far as the 1950s. And so this was something, if just the early days of the program was around, and over time, it has definitely moved along. And I said, well, in order to stay ahead of the curve, even as a software engineer, even, working on projects, I got to get ahead of this AI thing. And so what I started to do was take some time on my own and study, and also, go through internationally certified AI consultants program. And I said, one of the things that I wanted to do was add that into my dream of building my own agency. And taking those skills and transferring them over into AI. How can AI help me to develop applications further and create customized offerings for my clients?
Yeah, and that's good. I'm glad you touched on that, because I think we may have been talking backstage a bit about how we are so resistant, how people are so resistant to AI without realizing how it can really help our businesses evolve. It can help open, those doors of opportunities. And it's not a taboo, tool. Some people think that, oh gosh, if people know that I'm using AI, or you shouldn't be using AI, AI becomes a crutch, which it can become a crutch. if you're not smart about using it. Can you talk about how professionals and entrepreneurs, solopreneurs can use AI to enhance their businesses? What parts of that can help them?
Definitely. AI is definitely something I would just let everyone know right now. You got to get the fear and put it out of the door. AI is not going anywhere. This is not like the AOL of the 90s and when the dot-com boom and all that. We are here in the AI revolution. It's not going anywhere. One of the things, of course, as you've seen over time, all of the hot tech tools that have been out here, no matter if you use Chat GPT, Claude, Grok, DeepSeek, you want to make sure that you are getting AI using an LLM at your company. But one of the main things that I have been building for clients, agentic workflows, right? Where you are able to point your AI agent, or even if you are just using Claude Code and Claude Cowork right now, if you are pointing that at a folder and this folder could be information like spreadsheets and data, and it's taking you 2 to 3 days to get that report, you can get that report done in like 20 minutes to an hour. I mean, just really reworking and organizing everything on your computer for you. Also, just bookkeeping, anything finances. I have different agents that I use for customer support, email segmentation to qualify leads, marketing research, and offer a whole content creation suite. This is what I want business owners to know, that AI is going to be your thoughtful co-partner. And when we talk about just thinking about presence, if you are working with AI the right way and training it on your business knowledge, training it on who you are and what you do, it's not going to, just run away. You're going to have those guardrails set and put on it if it is trained effectively and creatively. But it is here to be your thoughtful co-partner, save you time, also save you money, and make you money, and multiply your impact as well. Of course, every day, AI can give you, your top 3 moments of the day, whether that's if you're reading the AI news, reading whatever financial or healthcare news in your industry, also give you your top emails of the day and give you a summary of anything that you need to do, meeting notes for today. I mean, you can structure AI all through your day for scheduling appointments, making reports for you. As I said, of course, your agents handling, most businesses. And one of the things that I've been working on, multi-level AI agentic systems. We are moving into a time where multi-level orchestration, that's going to be on the horizon. It's definitely not as new. It has been, experimented with over the last few years. So this isn't new to see, business owners who have all digital employees. And as we keep working and as companies are moving around, there's going to be human employees, but also these human employees are going to be managing these agents and knowing specifically how to train them and how to work with them and maintain them. And so that's why, I know it's kind of cliche, but it's still true that anybody right now, the people who are going to succeed are definitely going to be the people who know how to use AI, not just really just throw questions at it, but how can you really train it, and how can it help you think through at a deeper level?
Yeah, that's good. And when you mentioned, the AIs are going to be running these offices, so to speak, that's a something to think about, that it really kind of made me pause a bit, but they have been talking about that for years, and they're not here to take over. Well, they're going to take some jobs. So it is important that we learn and tinker and play with AR so that we can compete, or, so that the people can compete with these roles, that the few roles that's going to be open for humans. Am I right in that?
Definitely, you are right, because what's happening now on the the workforce landscape out here, you're going to have to know and be trained. Most people now, as we know it, we have gone into the sense of all of the entry-level jobs right now. That landscape is changing. Over the last year, there was a little discourse and still some discourse around college students who have graduated. The entry-level job outlook is not the same anymore. AI is completely changing that, changing customer support. We are seeing full-on call centers now. Just AI is disrupting several industries, but yes, definitely AI agents will be managing offices. And right now, the human employees, they are really going to have to get up to speed with, managing these systems and also training them. And so one of the things I have really been adamant about is serving clients over the years and helping to make technology understandable and easily accessible. And so that is why I am such an advocate for helping people to train AI the right way, but also build the necessary systems around them to reduce overwhelm, burnout, and also stress. Because I remember myself being back in 2021 working as a technology director. And the particular company I worked for, it was kind of all of that, the overwhelm, the stress, and the burnout. They wanted to bring in new technology, but it was a little bit of a push-pull effect. And I have seen what it looks like to be strapped to every email, every call, and know how that feels. And I said, one day I wanted to create a business where I can leverage AI as a thoughtful co-partner, because at the time, when I think that was the time when we let go of one of our largest development partners, and that was one of our leading C-suite members that, for whatever reason, that decision was made and we followed suit. But, I immediately brought in a principal engineer to help me to rebuild the systems, rebuild the whole security, also overhaul the dashboards to help us to kind of look at our insights and our data. And so I just look at things like that of how AI has helped me to think about being my thoughtful co-partner as an agent, building out these dashboards and systems so small business owners and solopreneurs can see what's happening in their business, see where the leaks are, see where the bottlenecks are, and see how they can, really recover their data. Because, if you're working and you have data in silos, AI needs the best environment of data to be clean, prepared, and just be efficient so you can work with AI at a high level.
Yeah, that's good. So for, AI in certain various industries, how can AI, what the change, and it's changing the landscape, I would say, of really all industries, even my industry, the image consulting industry. People are relying on AI for certain things, and it's also competing with stylists and anyone that's working in that field, because it can almost tell people how to get dressed. It can almost tell them how to develop a capsule wardrobe and these things, though it doesn't take the place, I need to say this, of that human touch and, the human interaction. But how can one embrace that, or like you said, use that as their, what's the word that you use? Co-partner?
Co-partner, yeah, or thoughtful assistant, definitely. I would say business owners, please look at it this way, as in saving time, saving money. So think about it. If you have that executive assistant, and this is just one of the things I do with my clients at my agency, if you have a, firm that you're leading and you're running, and say for instance, if you have so many appointments coming through that you have so much business, you can't catch all of it. So one of my offerings at my agency, AI voice receptionists or concierge receptionists that'll help you, that will catch those calls, qualify those leads, and book them on your calendar. So that way, the manpower that it takes to catch all the phone and be on the phone and trying to do everything and book those leads on the calendar, sometimes you just can't even take a breath fast enough. And so with these agents, they're able to answer these calls 24/7. It's not calling out sick. It's not giving you an excuse. It doesn't, it's happy all the time to get those calls. But just, add a way to really let business owners to get back to life. If you're doing all these manual, repetitive, tedious tasks, sometimes that takes, just really trying to qualify leads and follow up with people. The follow up can take 24 to 48 hours. So if you have an AI agent that can help you, or even an AI report that is summarizing information that took you manual manpower of 10 to 15 hours, and it can reduce that thing down and save you about 20 hours a week. I really want business owners to know how it's saving time. Also can multiply your presence online too. Whereas you might be doing every post, now we have something else that I'm creating for my clients, digital AI avatars that you can run your content faceless. It can be your image trained on you, look just like you. You can feed it a script, and it's online all the time. It's posting. You can train your agent to post all your information across your socials. That way, sometimes you might forget to schedule that post in later or buffer. You got your agent working for you. I mean, you can get back to spending that time being with your family. And for me, I'm a caregiver of my grandmother. And so this has been really critical, even in my business, getting AI agents to help me with that. And so, like I said, I know what it feels like to be even at a company in the corporate space of kind of, like I said, strapped to email, strapped to the phones, can't leave because something might break or fall through the cracks. And I said, experiencing that in a company, I said, I want to get out and build something for business owners that can be a legacy gift of serving in technology for me, because that's what I like to do. I like to serve and help people to understand technology better, but build a business around themselves where they're not burned out. They can take that sick day, they can take that vacation, and you can be at peace of mind that your business is still running and not take together and falling apart without you.
Absolutely. And then from a monetary standpoint, small businesses can't always hire these people to do these multiple jobs. And to run a business effectively, you do need multiple people to handle these things so that you're not losing yourself in the time that it takes to respond and to write emails and to do follow-ups and such. So I think that if anyone is listening that is really kind of frowning on AI, just listening to you, Jennifer, should make one think, well, it's so much more than what we've seen on social media or what we've heard people talk about. Some of the things that you've mentioned tonight, I know nothing about, So using it as a tool and not a crutch. Can you talk about how we can do that without becoming totally dependent or reliant on AI?
Sure. Yes, definitely. Because one of the things I like to do first is go through strategy with people. What is it that you want to do? What is the biggest pain point or biggest problem you want to solve in your life right now? And really kind of work backwards to re-engineer that and strategize and walk through that. And so one of the things I always say, we want to make sure when we are prompting that we are giving context, not just throwing questions at it. That's the first thing, to make sure that you are getting the most out of it, giving it context and being very specific with what you want to do, and trying to step through that. And also, we need to make sure that we are always thinking about human in the loop first. We always want to be there and not, what is the term people use now, brain rot, really, right? We want to make sure that we are thoughtfully asking our LLMs questions. Hey, do you understand this? Here's clarifying questions on what you need, not just letting it take over. We still need to be the human in the loop, giving it the guardrails so we are not just depending on it several hours of the day, because again, we are the ones with the creative thoughtfulness of all of this that makes this goes together. We have the business knowledge, we have the personal knowledge, the content creation. That's all us. And so we need to make sure that we are still the center of that, but also noticing that, hey, you don't have to hold all of this stuff in your head or on your computer. You can give this to your agents, your assistants, because again, if you want to start off with something, and since I'm a coder, I do the whole custom code thing. You don't have to be a coder. Don't feel like you have to be the technology expert. You can, now we have Claude Cowork around. So you have that desktop app that can go through, help you to summarize documents, really go through some bookkeeping things with you, reports, all of that. Also, you can create your own applications now from Claude Code, just in the terminal, and you can speak natural English, just plain language to it. And you have never created an app before. Just think about how much it used to cost. And I know how much I used to charge people for websites. I mean, you're saving anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 making your own app with Claude Code. I mean, it is no better time for someone, I don't care if you're not a business owner, to really get in, really get creative, and really figure out how this can save your life, because that next idea you have, that $1 million deal waiting on you. And so I just like people, I want them to understand you need to embrace AI now, because if you're waiting to 2030 and 2032, you're definitely going to be left behind. And one thing for sure you have to know, there's always bad actors, but I always think of this as technology for good. Whatever you're doing, it's going to be bad actors. Know how to protect yourself. One of the first things I go through with anybody that I'm sharing information with, create those safe words with your family, because I'm a person, again, just going back to that caregiving thing and being very careful with who my grandmother talks to on the phone, not giving away information, making sure she has that safe word. Like, hey, if it's somebody you don't trust, here's the safe word that it's not me if you get that robocall. And so just setting up things like that, really guardrails around your agents, and so no DDoS or injection attacks that happens to your technology infrastructure. And that's why I go through a full assessment and strategy plan with my clients, because I want them to be safe at all times and implement this thing to help them.
Good. Yeah. When you talk about AI, can we talk about the connection between AI and branding? Even with photos, we talk about, as a branding expert, personal branding, you talk about authenticity. We always want to be authentic in everything that we do. So, which is I think is one of the reasons why people frown on using it, not just from a business aspect and technical side, but the side that they may need to. They can't hire a photographer. They can't. Don't have time to sit with a photographer. But do you think that it's something that is damaging the brand when they are using these AI images and using AI, as you were talking about, to write their content? And I do know that you can't depend on AI. You have to put, like you said, the human parts into that. But what do you say about AI and its connection to branding? I think it can be a good thing.
I definitely think it can be a good thing, because I'm going to tell you, all the 50 or to 500 hours putting in manual posting, how much time I have saved with my AI avatar. I just think about, and I let people know, if you are a speaker or a business owner, say for instance, you got to do a workshop in Maine, but you got to speak in France tomorrow. What about your AI avatar being online, doing that class for you in Maine, or speaking for you in France? And I mean, really, just really training the AI on your image. Because here's the other thing as well, and I've spoken to some legal clients about this too, as far as, getting those trademarks right now, because there's so much, even in the, the federal authorization of governance right now, because states, they have a little bit less power with governance and just how things are regulated with AI right now. That's being left up to the federal government at this time. And so we want to really be careful, make sure that you're always, if you have to use a watermark to put on your images, definitely do that. But I think this is saving a lot of time. You know why? Because if you're a person, and we all know, we've been there sometime, where you don't feel like getting up and putting on a full face of makeup and getting your Canon camera and all of this and getting your iPhone together with your tripod. When I tell you, you're able to get on HeyGen, able to get on Hicksfield, use that image and create that content in seconds. And I mean, make 10 posts in a day or in a week, and it has saved you so much time. You're definitely gonna thank me later, because I have been really, since I found this and started doing it for clients, I mean, they have really seen just the growth, the impact across their social channels. Also, the presence it has definitely brought to their brand, right? Because one of the things with these AI avatars and AI images, you can be online all the time, 24/7. And
Yeah.
that is another way that you are still gaining leads. That's a way you're still making sales, whether you're doing digital products, selling physical products, or even if you're selling a series, avatar course, your AI avatar can teach your course for you. So I want people to understand that, hey, this is here to serve you. Make sure that you are putting your branding, make sure it's consistent across all your images and all your videos, you know, because there are people, bad actors again, are out there trying to steal your image. But always be sure, if you can trademark, be sure to do that. Talk to your legal advisor. I'm not a lawyer, can give legal advice, but I will tell you it is best to always go through trademarking, copywriting, anything that is original IP. We definitely don't want anybody to take that. And so this has been a really good thing. And so I just really want people to know how this can serve you. It can definitely save you time, build that impact for your brand, and also multiply your revenue, and even offer you another, you know, several streams of income with the AI brand presence through images and video.
Yeah, that's good. You are, this information is amazing. And I know that anyone that's listening, I hope you're writing this stuff down, because again, I didn't know that you could do all of this that you're speaking of with AI. And I don't even know, even if I knew how to do it, I don't know how to start. So what would you say to someone that's interested? Well, first of all, how can someone get in touch with you if they are interested in learning more about what you do?
Yes, definitely. You can reach out to me, info@nexorastrategy.co, and that's Nexora, Nexora, and just the word strategy.co. I'm online at Jennifer Ponder Speaks on IG and also on Instagram. Also look us up, Nexora Strategy Consulting. We're on Facebook and on Instagram as well. I would say one of the first things you want to do, right? If you're a person, you're trying to figure out where to start today, go to your favorite LLM. I know there's been a lot of talks, like I said, out here in the world as far as privacy is concerned around OpenAI and what's going on with ChatGPT. But if you want to move over to Claude and use that because, you know, of the personal privacy of data, Anthropic has really made it possible that a lot of people are using Claude and co-work now, but you can use ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, or Grok. You know, make sure to give it some context and tell it, you know, act as my six-figure business coach. What is the first thing that I need to be thinking of to get my business to the next level over the next 12 months? Make sure you put in a revenue goal. If you want to hit $1,000 in a month or $100,000 in the next 3 months or a month, make sure you want to step through that. Also, it can give you a business plan, whatever you want it to do, you know, and start with, also, if you want to just start with the basics, act as my, you know, AI strategist. What are the top 3 niches I need to start learning today? Whether it's agents, whether it's creating Claude skills, you know, or just anything like that. What do you need to be thinking about? What are the classes you need to be taking? I always like to point people to the 2025 McKinsey & Company State of the AI report. You know, this really breaks down what's going on out here in the market. You know, I don't know if you knew this, Jenny, but over 88% of businesses have at least one business function in their business. And so that's why it's critical. I want people to know AI is in a lot of businesses right now. And if you're not implementing at least one business function by 2030, you're definitely going to be behind. And about upwards of 30% more have agentic AI multi-level agent systems, where if you look at their org charts, about 10 to 15 of their employees are AI agents working for them. So if you're that solopreneur and you're trying to figure it out and you're hustling and you're trying to get it together and you're doing everything, I definitely want you to know that there's a way. And so definitely, if you go over to Nexora, nexorastrategy.ai, our website there, you can take a look and see what we're doing. Also get a demo, book a demo, a strategy call with me. I'd love to talk to you to see how I can help you in your business. Also take our assessment at nexoraaiassessment.com. It really lets you know where you are in your journey. I'd love to talk you through that. And what you can do to get your business to the next level. Are you ready for AI agents? Do you just need AI training and a strategy roadmap? And so I'm here to serve in any way I can in that way. But that's definitely, through the training, coaching, and just building out these digital employee systems. I found my niche there because really I want to help people to know that you can get your time and your presence back, because when we're overwhelmed, overworked, burned out, we can't put our presence in the market. We can't have presence. We are, just really working all ends, and we can't be well rested. And so I really want business owners, after seeing what I went through and knowing how I could change it and transform someone's business, I definitely want them to know within 30 days, you get that AI agent or AI assistant working for you, your business is going to transform completely.
Wow, that's amazing. I say amazing because it is, because it's new information, and it's information that, I mean, you have been so giving with this information, so that anybody that's listening to this can go and start tinkering around with AI. Chat GPT, Claude. I've played around with Claude, and I am impressed by Claude.
Claude is great. I'm telling you, Claude is like my best friend, my writing buddy. Also, I use Notebook LM for customer dashboards. Like I said, you all can use HeyGen, Hicksfield for creating your AI avatar, Seed Dance, Clean. It's always going to be, I want you to know as well, there's always going to be that next tool. Right now, we have the battle of the companies. So one week you're going to see this, next week you're going to see that. But always know, I want you to know, you can pick one tool. It's over 17,000 AI tools on the market right now. What I want you to do, the first thing, note down a task that is repetitive and manual, and that is taking you, is probably the bottleneck and time suck of your company, right? Pick one tool that can help you to step through that and automate that. Do a sprint, a pilot for about 2 weeks, or even a week if you want to. See how that tool works before you move to the next thing. Don't bottle yourself down with 5 to 10 tools and you trying to figure it out and piece together something and do all the YouTube videos and getting stressed out. Pick 1 to 2 tools. I'll usually say 1 if you're just starting out and trying to find out where you are, before you build your system, and consult someone. Definitely me, I can help you to build that full agentic system or full just content and planning strategy system to help you to put these tools together to work for you effectively. But you don't have to really just eat a piece of the mountain all at one time.
Yeah, that's good information. Well, Jen, we're going to go on a quick break. And then when we come back, we are going to continue to talk to Jennifer Ponder. She's talking about AI and how AI can enhance your business and your personal life. And she's talking about giving insight on how you can use it without being a crutch. It's a tool to help our businesses grow. So we'll be back in a second. You're not just building a career, you're building a reputation and that of your business. At People Power Consultancy, we coach ambitious professionals to refine their image and shape a personal brand that opens doors. Because the way you show up is your message. If you're tired of blending in, second-guessing your presence, or feeling unseen, this is your moment to stand out with purpose and polish. Visit peoplepowerconsultancy.com to start your transformation. Your next level has a look. Let's define it. Okay, we're back with Jennifer Ponder. Jennifer is an AI consultant. She is the owner of, and I'm going to let you say your name of your business,
Nexora Strategy Consulting.
And so again, she's giving us some golden nuggets on how we can use AI to take us from where we are to where we want to be, seamlessly saving us hours of time and really increasing our revenue if done right. So again, thank you, Jennifer, for being here, giving us all of this information and just pouring freely to us. And we appreciate that, I'm sure. So I wanted to, again, I'm an image consultant. I'm a personal brand strategist. And again, when I talk to people about when I'm in a conversation with people, they are still very, very hesitant about AI. But for me, what do you think AI could do for someone when it comes to not only their presence, but their image? How can they enhance virtually? I'm really speaking virtually. How can they help them enhance their virtual image, their virtual presence. Is there anything particular you can speak on around that?
Well, I will say, as we continue to grow through certain stages with AI and how the models are, moving now, you have full on fashion shows now that are AI, that is presence in that way, on the stage. And you have also speaker platforms now where you have different type of speakers that are almost hologram like that are creating presence in that way as well. And so what I will say is people to think about, the different applications that are out here, the different things that anything that you could dream of in your imagination that you wanted somebody to create 5 or 10 years ago, you definitely can create it on your own, right now. And building your presence online. I will always say one of the most important things right now that we can be doing is building our brand and definitely building our presence online, because one thing about your brand and your presence, it's going to precede you. It's even going to be your legacy online and just the thing that really outlives you. And so you really want to think about how you want your presence to show up, how you want your brand to show up. There are so many things right now, as I pointed to one of them before, with C Dance 2.0 right now, with the cinematic, you're able to make cinematic style videos and also product placement ads. Can you remember back in the day when you saw a full-on ad and it took maybe $20,000 to $30,000 to produce that ad, and now you're able to produce almost like Super Bowl level ad content? I mean, in minutes. Yeah, it may eat up 2 minutes. You'll have a subscription, but it is just phenomenal and fascinating how far we have come with just creating that presence online. And over time, building that brand and creating that presence, that's going to be something that really lasts a lifetime. So one of the things I really want people to understand is these tools that are out here right now that I've named, HeyGen, Higgsfield, Nano Banana Pro, Gemini, these are all part of the creative suite that you can make a part of, building your presence and building your brand online. Don't just think of them as just really just tools that's creating fun stuff. Yeah, you can create the fun stuff, but think about all of the things once you're utilizing it at the highest level, how it can be your brand agency, your creative content agency, and really building that positioning power and presence online.
Yeah. And I'm still thinking about when you said you have a speaking engagement in France and you have this virtual a webinar or something that you have to give, and you can be in both of these places at the same time. Blowing to me, because when I'm thinking about AI and thinking about how it's going to help my business, I'm thinking about projects. I can work on a project with AI. I'm dropping something into AI that I have written, but I just want to refine it a bit, But what you're talking about, I mean, it's top level. It's unbelievable. So anyone that's listening, if you have any questions too, feel free to ask Jennifer. She can get that question answered for you. So I would say to the listeners, don't be afraid of AI rather. And don't be embarrassed if you use it, because a lot of people are. They don't want anyone to know that they're using this tool. But it's smart to use it. And I tell you what, I will use it more.
And don't be afraid if it's day one for you, because think about it this way. No one is an expert right now. We are all, even like I said, I have over 15 years plus in the technology industry myself, but still we are all learning and growing and learning this on the drop of a hat. Every week we are got one tool here. I have about 99 windows open on my computer. I'm testing, I'm building apps all the time. I'm building different tools all the time. And so just think about it this way. We're all learning. We're all, just in this thing. So if it's your day one or day 300 right now, keep going. No matter where you are, it's never too late, because again, if you get to 2030 and 2032 and you haven't touched AI at all, you are going to be definitely left behind, because AI is not going anywhere, and this is something that even in schools, I don't know if you've seen this, Jenny, the alpha schools now that will be teaching our kids with
I don't know.
AI. There will not be the teachers in the rooms. It's going to be AI teachers that are almost hologram like, that are going to be teaching these classes. So I want everybody to think about how AI is definitely disrupting several areas of society, and it is going to be here to stay. And so this is something that we all, even if you're going out to take Waymo and the sensors and the self-driving cars, AI even has been around, Netflix, of course.
Yeah.
It's been here. It's just, how it's going to keep progressing, keep moving, just like every other time that we've been through from the Industrial Revolution to now. We're just really adapting to everything that's happening day by day, and it's happening very fast.
Very, very fast. And I was going to ask you, you touched on that, how AI is changing all these various industries. And you talked about that with the teaching. I hadn't heard of that. I would like to say that I think it's cool, but it really does give me a little, makes me a little nervous to hear that. But, the way they're developed and these robots, whatever it is that they're going to be using, are highly intelligent. They've used the human mind to develop these things. So I guess, and you know what, we've talked about this. I mean, well, society has talked about this in the experts for many, many years. So I don't know why we would be surprised, but we are, because we're seeing it. Many of us probably thinking, well, I won't be around to see this happen, but it's happening, and it's evolving, like you said, quickly. So in a matter of 5 to 10 years, who knows, what AI will be doing with and for us.
Right. And now there are several companies that are using data from, user inputs. Like, I don't know if you heard the interview. Shout out to the queen of AI, Alicia Little. Love her. She has really spoken to what's happening at DoorDash with there are dashers now that can take, extra assignments, and what they're doing is training the robots with that data. They could be taking a video of themselves at home, washing dishes or washing clothes or just mowing their lawn. And that data is going to be transferred to help train the robots to do these processes. So there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes, but also innovatively in front of us that we may not be missing. So I would just tell people, make sure that you are subscribed, even if you got to set up your tasks into Chat GPT and Claude every day to get the insights every morning to your inbox at 7 or 8 a.m. So you know what's going on. Make sure you're on LinkedIn, TechCrunch, everywhere, Substack, and following people who, you really love. Again, I know I'm a part of the great consultants group with Alicia Little and several people that I can think of, in the space. Of course, there are so many people, and forgive me whoever I am forgetting, but I am a part of so many groups, and just keep myself really just my ear to everything that's going on, of course, because I love tech, but also in AI, it's moving fast. So something that happened last night, there can be a change as soon as this morning when you wake up the next day. And so I just really want people to know, like, make sure as much as you are looking at the 6 o'clock news, be aware of the AI news that's happening on all fronts as well.
Yeah, that's good. It's good advice, because many of us are not listening to what's happening with AI, because we've been told at times that it's not here to stay, or someone had mentioned a few weeks ago that 5 years from now you won't even know about AI. I mean, not you won't know about it, but AI wouldn't. It's not going to matter. I don't believe that, because it's so intelligent that I can't see it going anywhere else.
It's not. It's definitely not. And at that point, it's going to be more intelligent. The intelligence, like I said, the models were changing over time from 3 years to 7 months to 3 months. And now it's by the week. Like, it's back and forth. It's kind of like the ping pong between OpenAI, Claude. It's like a tennis match. We're watching to see who's going to get there first. Google Gemini, it's so many products that are coming out. You can't keep up. And so I really, urgently just want everyone to know, like, make sure you are keeping yourself involved into, if you're going to meetups, your local meetup groups, being online, taking a look at podcasts like Jenny's, if she's having on anybody such as myself in the AI or the tech world, any type of tech podcast that you can find, any type of books that you like to read, publications on AI, and just really keeping it close, because things are not going to change. AI is not going anywhere. And as we notice it right now in the world, there's so much going on, of course, because, AI takes a lot of data, and where are data centers? Close to water. And so we're trying to cool these data centers, but taking they're taking up resources from certain areas and neighborhoods. That is a real concern as far as, and we're at Earth Day right now. This is something that is very concerning, and really, how this thing is going to get solved, because, this is a lot of our water. And if the different, they were talking about at first putting some data centers out in the middle of the ocean, but at the rate of how much water that they use, we really have to be conserving this thing. So, it is great, but it is also causing concern in that particular arena. And so it's interesting to see how that's going to go. I know there's a lot of city council and legislation proposed around this. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But I want you to know that you can still, use AI, but it's going to be interesting because, of course, definitely we don't want anybody to run out of water. This is, really a critical situation for them to come to a solution. And anyone in the free open world who has a solution out there, who's a creator and inventor, for sure, because these data centers, they take a lot of water to power, for that energy, and to keep them really, the water is helping to keep them cool, because they're generating a lot of power. Those chips they're running. And so, it's just a lot going on in that role. But, you definitely have to keep yourself up on what's going on. Make sure that you are noticing the models, what they can do, how they can help you, the deep reasoning. I always tell people, Perplexity is great for, that deep research. If you have not looked at Claude, ChatGPT, I don't know why you have not, but definitely if you're deep in the research, Perplexity is definitely going to help you. You can look at different things. Like now, Claude is on Sonnet 4.7, the latest. They're always coming out in Opus for deep thinking. So look at the models, see how they can help you in every day. If you're doing research or you need to do journals and different publications, it's always a good thing to do as well.
Yeah. This is good. This is good. So if anyone is listening, I want you to tell your friends to listen to the replay, because again, this is information that you couldn't afford to pay anyone, or not couldn't afford, but you would have to pay someone a good dollar to get. And Jennifer is here giving it all to you for free. I know that I will be listening again and taking notes and doing some of the things that you've offered on my, myself, to help enhance what I'm doing. Though when I first learned of AI, I was hesitant as well. And I was thinking, why would I want to use this? And this doesn't sound like me, and this doesn't, look like me. But again, if you train yourself, it sounds like it can be a turnaround for you in your business and in your life. As a result of helping you find time in your business, you're able to spend more time with your families and things like that. So, and be in two places at one time.
Definitely. Productivity helps you to delegate, and also helps you to get your peace of mind and your life back. So I really want everyone to know AI is going to help you with that transformation. If you have been looking to, whether you feel like you're being the bottleneck in your business, or you're just trying to get a breath of fresh air to breathe, you're holding everything together, AI can definitely help you. There's so many awesome things that we can do right now that I think we're not taking just the full, just scope of it, taking it in, what we can do. And that's what I'm here to do. And so, of course, on my side, my Jennifer Punter Speaks side, you'll see sometimes where I am running webinars. I also have a monthly lunch where I'm helping people to walk through, whether it's Claude Cowork, Claude Code, or just building your first agent, how to do that, and how to effectively have it to help you work on your own project. So I have a new series that I'm coming out with. Stay tuned. There will be a pop-up to help you to put in your information so you can stay ahead to get those alerts for that new series that's coming out.
Yeah.
Of course, because I love to teach. I love to help people to understand technology and really just break this thing down, because sometimes technology can be a lot and it's coming at you fast now every day. When you're turning on the TV, you're looking at Instagram, you're looking at Facebook, and you're trying to figure out, what do I need to do first? And so I love to be that anchor and help you with that foundation of where you need to start and how you can get there to reach your goals.
Well, it certainly sounds like you're the one to go to. It certainly sounds like you're the one that can help. Again, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, just starting off and don't know where to begin and don't know how to operate their businesses. Just really anyone. But listen to Jennifer and embrace AI. It's not here to harm us. We just need to know how to use it and use it in a way that's going to be effective for us. So again, thank Jennifer Ponder for being here with us. And you can get in touch with her at Jennifer Ponder.
Yep, JenniferPonderSpeaks.com. Also send me an email, info@nexorastrategy.co. You can find me also as well, IG, Facebook, Jennifer Ponder Speaks, and of course, Nexora Strategy Consulting. We are online, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG. Make sure to reach out to us if you want to schedule a call. Certainly happy to help and get you on your way, whether it's getting you started with AI or helping you to see how in a full multi-level agentic orchestration system in your business can help you to reduce time, reduce that overwhelm, and just really help you to get back your life. Spend that time with your family or just those creative pursuits that you want to do. Definitely.
Yeah. And I'll add to that, AI is definitely going to help you to enhance your brand.
Yes.
It's going to help you to enhance your brand, your presence, your visual, your online presence. It can help in so many different ways in business, which is why I wanted Jennifer on here. I know she's talking about AI, but AI today is very much connected to how we present ourselves and our presence, and our brand ultimately. And everyone wants to talk about their brand, and they don't want their brand damaged, or they need to learn how to enhance their brand. Well, this is it. AI is it. So again, listen to Jennifer, get in touch with her if you need to get in touch with her. If you want to learn more about her and utilize her business and get a consultation, please feel free to do so. So that's going to end our show. My name is Jenny Dewberry. Again, I am an international image consultant and personal brand strategist. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on my website, peoplepowerconsultancy.com. I'm on LinkedIn as Jenny D, and on Instagram as Jenny D_people power. So again, thanks for spending time with us this evening. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe and tell your friends to join us as well. It's been great, Jennifer. Again, thank you for pouring into the audience so freely. We appreciate it. So until next time, join us here on the Image Connection Show next Wednesday at 7:00 p.m. Thanks for tuning in to the Image Connection Show. We truly appreciate you being here. We hope you'll join us again. And don't keep it to yourself. Invite a friend to tune in too. If you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to enhance your image, brand, and help you along your entrepreneur journey, this is where you want to be. I'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, keep showing up with purpose, presence, and power.